Out of nowhere, she gets a knock on the door. When my mom opens up the door, the gentleman on the other end, he hands my mom these legal documents. She starts flipping through the pages, and then she realizes that the property is going to foreclosure. But my mom can't understand why, because she's been paying the landlord every single month on time. She picks up the phone and she calls them up. And she goes, "Hello? Oui, this is Marie. Yes, I received the papers in the mail. It says that the property is going to foreclosure. But I don't understand. Every month I pay the landlord on time. Every month I pay him. I don't understand why the property is going to foreclosure." The lady on the line could tell that my mom sincerely did not understand what was going on. She said, "Oh, Marie, even though you've been paying the landlord money every single month on time, the landlord has a mortgage. The mortgage is attached to the property. Because of that, the bank has the right to foreclose. And so, ma'am, the property is going to go to foreclosure." And so my mom asked her, "Do you think that maybe I can go to the foreclosure sale? Whoever buys the property, I will be a good tenant for them. I will stay in the property. I will pay them the rent. Please, do you think that they will let me stay?" And you know what the lady told my mom? She said, "Ma'am, it's not even worth you showing up. Whoever buys that property is not going to want to keep your little restaurant in there." And so my mom was devastated. She's like, "This is how I take care of my two boys. I got all my life savings into this property." And so about 2 weeks later, my mom says, "You know what? I know that sometimes you don't just have to listen to what people tell you. There's some people that are going to try to talk you out of your dream. They're going to tell you don't even show up." But my mom said, "At a minimum, I'm going to at least try to show up and see if I can convince whatever big-time real estate investor if there's any way that they'll let me stay in the property." Sometimes people are going to try to talk you out of your dream, and you got to look them right in the eye and say, "Hey, that's okay. I'm just going to keep showing up." And so 2 weeks later, my mom shows up to the foreclosure sale. She's expecting a room full of investors, but to her surprise, there's only two people there: the auctioneer and the representative from the bank. Now, before my mom could realize what's going on, the auctioneer steps up to the podium and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start the bidding process on 540 West Atlantic Avenue. If you're here to bid on the property, please raise your hand." And so naturally, the representative from the bank is standing over here. She raises her hand. My mom, who had no intentions on bidding on the property, doesn't even know how this thing works. My mom decided to take an act of faith and raise her hand. Martin Luther King said that faith is taking the first step, even when you can't see the entire staircase. The auctioneer said, "Very well, we're going to start the bidding process at $30,000. Can I get a $30,000? The representative from the bank is standing here, says $30,000. My mom, calm, collect, doesn't even know how this works, goes, $35,000. It gets over here to the banker, that banker says $36,000. My mom's still in the game, $37,000. This goes on and on. Now they're in the 40s. Now they're in the 50s. Now they're in the 60s. Now they're in the 70s. It gets over here to the banker, that banker says $74,000. My mom's still in the game. No money, $75,000. Gets over here to the banker, that banker says $76,000. Now my mom's like, "I might as well have some fun. I don't have any money anyway. We must be playing with some Monopoly money." And so my mom, attitude and all, my mom goes, $76,500. But this time something happens. The representative from the bank is standing here with a clip pad. She picks up the clip pad and she says nothing. The auctioneer's got to keep the process going. He goes, $76,500 going once, no answer. He goes, $76,500 going twice, no answer. He goes, $76,500 sold to who? My mom, the woman who had no intentions on bidding on the property. And so my mom is excited she won the bid.
Yeah. What's going on? It's your boy, Rudy LaRose. You already know, in the building, baby. I'm excited to be in this place. As always, welcome to South Florida's edition of Confidence Factor Talk, baby. We're here in the building, and I'm glad to see you today. I know I get emotional. I get excited. I'm sorry. This is the game. This is the playoff. This is where it matters. This is where we're going to see who the champions are. And as a matter of fact, I got some champions on the line that I want to bring up. But before I do that, I need you to do me a huge favor. Do me a huge favor. Stop dancing, all right? Focus on your keyboard and type for me hashtag heart level. If you're here, if you're watching me, type hashtag heart level. Right here, right here. Type heart level all over the place. I want to see heart level. I want to see some likes. I want to see some hearts. I want to see them all. Type heart level. The second thing I need you to do for me is let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching from Chicago, from New York, from California, from Boston, from let me see what else, from London, Africa, Japan, Zimbabwe, I mean, you know, from Haiti, Jamaica, Bahamas. I mean, let me know where you're watching from, because tonight we're going international, baby. And before we do that, I just want to let y'all know that I appreciate you guys for coming tonight. We're going to have a good time, and we have some amazing thing lined up for y'all. So y'all ready to get started? Because I'm ready to get started. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. All the way from what I call Jayville in the building, the doctor himself, the sensei, Mr. Bobby B in the building.
Yo, what's good, baby? I'm gonna put some points on the board. I came to put some points on the board. 41, 42, 43.
43. Shout out to Jay.
Yay! Hey. What's up, baby?
Shout out to Jay, man.
It's your boy,
What's going
Bobby
on,
B,
B?
man. Happy to be here, fam. I'm happy to be here, man.
Glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you. Oh man, we gotta bring the trio. We gotta bring the triune. We gotta bring the triangle to the building.
The
Ladies
professor.
and gentlemen, make some noise for. See, that's the problem, because I don't know where he's at right now. Because he could be like in London somewhere. He could be in Hawaii.
Overseas. He could be anywhere.
Listen, he could be on the yacht. I just don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, make some noise all the way from Clearwater today, Mr. Darian Hill, the professor.
The professor.
In the
The professor.
What's going on?
Yes, yes. What's going on, fellas? What's going on, fellas? Yeah, as you said, I'm here in Clearwater, just soaking up all the sun and the beach. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to, you know, just trying to relive my Caribbean days. You know how we do it here, Confidence Factor.
Hey. Just make sure that's all you soak up, brother. You know what I'm saying? Leave the rest over there. You know what I'm saying? Leave the rest, bro.
Hey, you so right. It's so right. You got to protect yourself. In the game of life, you got to know the rules. And I'm certainly playing by the rules. There ain't no COVID going on around here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we don't do COVID around here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I kick Rona out. Boom, boom.
We knock it back. We knock it back.
We knock it back, man. We knock it back, man. Bobby B.
What's
Are you
happening,
excited
baby?
about this show? Are you
Man,
like?
hey, this is the big one. It's always the big one, but this is the big one. This is the big one. This is the big one, man.
Yeah.
This is the big one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this, man. Yeah, we've come a long way.
I'm excited for the show simply because, you know, when you've had an opportunity in your life to be mentored by the best of the best, it's almost like you feel like, man, what can I do to just show them how you appreciate them, how you honor them, and just not because of what they do only, but because of who they are and what they represent in your life and other people's life. And you see them behind the scene, in front of the scene. And I've seen this man, I mean, just everywhere, engaged, ready, focused, present. And he is a beast at it, man. And I can't wait to have him over here, man. But before we do, guys, like I said, I need some heart level. I need y'all to type hashtag heart level in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from. We want to engage with you. We want to let you guys know that we appreciate y'all. And today, we're going to be talking about showing up for your life. That's right. Showing up for your life. Because if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, somebody else will. So we here to let you know what's going on. Bobby B, we're going to start with you, man. We're going to start with you, bro.
You got to show up for your life, baby. You got to show up, man. Hey, listen, I remember when I was not showing up, brother. I remember. Man, look, you know the story, but people don't know the story. I got to tell them the story. Let me tell them the story.
Oh yeah, please tell them the story.
I'll tell them the story, man. Look, man, it was 2008, long ago in a land far, far away. 2008, man. No, real talk, man. 2008, man. That was hard hit on everyone. As a matter of fact, we're repeating some of that stuff right now, man. Going into a recession, people are losing jobs, people are losing houses, people are losing money, cars, and families, relationships. You know. And I found myself in one of those positions, man. I'm just in a situation where I lost everything. I just lost everything, man. And I was headed out to the beach. I was going out to the beach to end it all because I didn't see how I could show up. I didn't see how I could show up, brother. I lost a bunch of houses, lost some cars and things. And yeah, man, it was bad. It was bad, man. I was drinking, excessively drinking. Right, I was hooked on Percocet pills. It was hardcore, man, and I was not showing up in my life. And as a matter of fact, I didn't think I was going to make it. I sat down and did a chart of my life, and I saw that in my health, my finances, my relationships, my personal growth, my spirituality, I started to put down. Should I put down true or false? Right. And I put down false in every category because I had to be honest with myself. I said, am I living my authentic life in each category? And I said, I'm just going to put true or false. That was it. I said, I'm going to keep it real simple. And the bottom line was I put false in every category, brother. Every category I had false. And I walked out to the beach. I wrote a note to end everything. I left the keys behind the wheel of my truck and I walked out to the beach and I was going to end it. I didn't think I could make a comeback. I didn't think I could make a comeback. And long story short, I'm gonna keep my story very, very short. Fast forward, man. I ended up in Jacksonville with $26 in my pocket. I had my whole family inside of a bedroom inside of my uncle's house. Started from scratch, and I was able to rebuild, man. I was able to rebuild my life. And I don't want to keep it simple. And I want it to be an encouragement for everybody out there because there's people out there right now that they're going through it and they think they're not going to make it, man. They think they're not going to make it. You're losing things. You're losing friends. You're losing family, houses, cars, but you can make it, man. I'm here to tell you that you can do it. I've done it and you can do it too. And it all starts with surrounding yourself with great people. And I'm happy because the guy who's coming on tonight, I didn't even know him personally. I heard of his words through you, Rudy. He said, how you do anything is how you do everything.
You do everything, baby.
That's all I heard. I didn't even know the guy. I just heard the saying. I thought, man, I denied it. I was like, nah, you can't. No, how you do it? That's not true. Because it meant that I would have to level up. And then I would have to show up and level up in all areas of my life. See, sometimes you can be winning in one area, but you ain't winning in all the areas, right? And so sometimes as a man, you find yourself winning and, just making money, paying bills, and you think you're winning. That's not the whole thing. You got all these different areas. So I surrounded myself with some great people, man. And how you do anything is how you do everything. And that has had a huge impact on my life. So I'm happy to say I got a great community of brothers around me that's holding me accountable. And I got an action plan to be successful. And my personal growth, man. I'm happy to say last year I read over 55 books in 1 year because I was serious about my development, getting to the next level. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing the results right now. Sometimes you just apply yourself, right? Apply yourself, level up, show up for your own life. And man, beautiful things begin to happen. I got a 5-bedroom house. I got a car out front that's totally paid for. I don't owe nobody in that car. That's my car. I don't owe nobody, huh? I didn't think that was ever going to happen.
No repo, no popo.
Hey, none of that, man. None of that. It's mine, man. It's mine. I got a 5-bedroom. My marriage is doing good. I got a fitness class. Before I was overweight, man. I had the stomach pushing the belly over the pajamas. Hey, man, I got a fitness class. You hear what I'm telling you? My mind's on right, man. And I'm happy to be here, brother. So if you out there listening, I encourage you, man. You can make a comeback, get around some good people, and it starts right here at Confidence Factor. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. How you do anything is how you do everything. Even when you're doing your closet, how you do anything is how you do everything. Come on, B. I know.
That's it.
So we're gonna keep it moving, man, because I want to give this gentleman some time to just levitate. You know what I'm saying? Some time to levitate. Before we do that, Darian, what does it mean to show up authentically, man, to show up for your life? What does that mean to you? How have you applied that in your life? Give me a few words, man. Drop some Come on, champion.
Yeah. No, I'm excited as well because, of course, as you know, Rudy, had the pleasure and honor to be able to have this gentleman who we're bringing on to be a mentor, a coach, and also a friend. And for me, one of the things I learned from him is that ultimately there are people that are your assignment. There are people out there that are looking to hear your voice. And what I also really understand from Andy is that, one of the key things to showing up is that authentically is not just about showing up perfectly. Oftentimes we think we have to show up perfect. We think we have to only show the highlight of our life. But what I really get is simply this, is that people will connect with you more through your failures and the struggles than they will through your successes. See, when you share your successes, you create a gap, you create a disconnection between you and your audience. See, what people are looking for is relatability. And so fortunately, I was able to be mentored by this guest, this amazing international speaker, about how to craft my story. And as I've been sharing my story and sharing about how I went through a process of transformation, people really started to connect with me more. And so what I really got was authentic sharing. Showing up authentically is to bring your whole self to the table. Bring every aspect of yourself to the table so that you can make an impact on the lives of the people that you're meant to serve, so that you can touch and relate and connect to the people that are your assignment. And if you don't do that, and when I haven't done that, I find that my level of influence, my level of connectivity wasn't there. And so showing up authentically means just to bring your whole self to the table, bring the successes, the fails, bring some of the things that, you may be a little bit afraid to share. Because oftentimes what people don't understand is everybody's going through some journey or some struggle. Everybody's going through something, and there's a universal theme in your story that will connect to them, even though their story may be different to yours. One thing I learned from Andy is that there's a universal theme in your story, in your sharing, in your giving, that they're going to connect to, they're going to relate to, and ultimately that's going to bridge a relationship that's going to be so powerful and so impactful that you're going to be able to build a deep connection with the audience, or be able to generate a new friend, or be able to help to move people past the things that they're dealing with. See, people are not looking for perfection. What they're looking for authenticity. And authenticity is truly a place of power. But before I continue, I wanted to acknowledge a few folks that's here. We have Laura that's here, of course. She has said heart level. Thank you, Laura Harvey, for showing up. We have Tammy that's here. I see Adrian is here as well. Thank you so much, Adrian and Tammy, for showing up. See, she put heart level, right? So we want to thank those individuals who are showing up and being here with us to share this space. And we know that through showing up, you're going to be transforming lives. You're going to be able to delivering. There's Tijuana. Did I pronounce that right?
Tijuana, yeah. Tijuana is there. You got Robin is here. I got Robin here. I have Troy, Jesse, Marty. We got a lot of people tuning in today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to thank them all for showing up because it's so key. And
it's a knock on the door.
You heard that? A knock on the door. So it's like it's almost that time. It's the knock on the door. It's almost that time. So I want you guys to get excited because we're bringing on amazing guests. But let me say this one last thing: is that one of the things about showing up authentic is the fact that when you show up doesn't mean you're not going to deal with something. You're going to have to deal with what's there. You're going to have to deal with the fear and the uncertainty, and you're going to have to take a risk. And also, that's what to me, what also showing up authentic means is that it's not that you just was able to do this confidently, is that you had to deal with something to really show up and be able to service. And so if you realize that no matter who the person is, everybody has to deal with something and to push past some fear, some uncertainty, some self-doubt to be able to step out there and make an impact. And that is what I consider to be authentic sharing. That's what I consider to be truly being authentic in your presentation, in your life. When you're dealing with stuff, but you still choose to show up anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And I gotta be honest, guys. I don't think that prior to meeting Andy, I don't think that I've ever had someone who challenged me like he did. And it's funny because it's not a matter of like he just stepped to my face and just say this. It wasn't like that. He challenged me in the way that I saw him show up for his life, show up for the things that he wanted in life, show up for the desires that he had in life. He challenged me by the way that he showed up in everything that he did. And so a lot of times we have these people that surround us and they don't challenge us, let's just be honest. They don't challenge anyway. So anytime we show up or we don't show up, it's all good because there's no challenge there. And I appreciate him because one of the things that he said before I bring him on, one of the things that he said, only ask opinion in the areas where people have already excelled. Like, why would you ask somebody who hasn't excelled on a particular topic or particular, craft? Why would you ask their opinion when they've never done it? You know what I'm saying? And so one of the things that I had to realize for me is that, you know what? If I'm going to level up as a speaker, if I'm going to level up as a storyteller, I need to find the best of the best. I need to find the person that's going to not only challenge me in that area, but even challenge me as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And that's exactly the man that I'm about to introduce to you live and direct right here in Confidence Factor. And what you don't know is that one of Andy's favorites, wait, hold on 1 second. See, I gotta make this special before I bring this man on the live. You know what I'm saying? One of his favorites. Let me see right here.
There. Okay, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
You still hear
me? Okay, good,
yeah.
Good. All right, making sure one of his favorites. Before I bring my man on to the live, I like to make a special request for the announcement for Mr. none other Andy Enriquez in the building, baby. What's going on?
I love it, man. Hey, I knew you were about to drop that Bruno Mars. I knew you were going to drop Bruno Mars, man. So listen, let me say this right away, man. Listen, I've been watching the Confidence Factor. See, y'all don't even know. I've been sneaking in, checking out the Confidence Factor, watching Bobby B throw down, Rudy LaRoche, my man Darian Hill, and y'all don't even know it. I've been checking out all of the episodes. And here's what I know. You guys are impacting and changing lives. So although you said some great things about me, let me just tell you, I am honored and humbled to be here. And the thing is, the reason why I get so excited is that when I watch people who are really bringing forth their gift and just trying to find a way to make an impact, I just am able to, just because I can reflect back on my own journey, I can project out. And I know what happens when you take three people, put them together, and you have this synergy and you have a common goal and you're working collectively. Like, I already know what this ends up looking like. Okay. Yep. So here's what I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, just in case anybody's looking. You want to make sure that you stay attached to the Confidence Factor, because I'm telling you right now, this movement right here is about to change and impact not thousands of lives, not hundreds of thousands of lives, but millions of lives. Watch what I tell you as you sit back and just observe. So here's what I'm going to say. You find a way to connect and attach yourself to the Confidence Factor. You find something, you anchor on it, you harness on it, you find a way to tap in. Because why? Because success leaves clues. We know that. Okay. Yep. And you don't need to try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to figure it out. You don't need to go through your own, like, almost giving up your life and throwing in the chips. No, you can learn from Bobby B's story on that. You don't have to know what it's like to build a business and then have your business partner basically shatter it and then have to restart it again. No, you can go ahead and learn from Darian's story on that. You don't really have to know exactly what it's like to be going down one angle and then realize that there's a bigger and greater calling in your life and then decide to pivot, because you can learn that from Rudy LaRoche. So I share that with you because I want you to understand that you are in the right place. Now, I know I didn't have to tell you that, but I really just wanted to emphasize that once again, you guys. So let me just tell you, I'm excited to be here in the building. I'm excited to see you down. I'm excited about the impact that you all are making. And I'm just here, man, to just really add any kind of value I can, to see if I could just do anything to be a blessing to the people who are tuning in. And before I just go ahead and chill out for a moment, Bobby B, I wanted to say, man, I appreciate you really just being so transparent and sharing your story. And the reason why I say that is because let's just face it, right now, you know, people need confidence more than ever. There's some people who are going through some really challenging times. People who are considering, and just like you were at that moment, Bobby B, people are considering throwing in the towel. They were working on their dreams and their goals and things were going well. And then boom, they got hit by COVID-19. And all of a sudden things just got flipped upside down, right? And so they're just trying to figure out how to make sense of it. And for those who are still managing to do well, they still find all this uncertainty, right? So like, yeah, you're doing well, but every day you don't know, like, how long is this thing gonna last? Like, how long am I gonna be able to maintain payroll? Like, how long will I have my job? How long will I be able to deal with these kids in the house all day long? You know, how long am I be able to deal with, you know, being in the house with my wife and everybody all the time? I love her, but I don't know if I want to be in the house. Whatever the thing is going on through your mind right now, let's make no mistake about it. It's the reality of where we're at. And so although, you know, we want to talk about showing up, but I tell you this, it's easy to show up in life when things are going well. Yeah. So I think the reason why this conversation is so timely is because how do you show up when things are not going well? How do you show up in the midst of uncertainty? How do you show up in the midst of doubt? How do you show up? And I'm gonna tell you something right now. Make no mistake about it. Even for those of us who consider ourselves to be the encouragers, the motivators, and the ones that are normally the ones speaking into people's life, make no mistake about it. The very things that we share, we need to go ahead and sit on that every day, because the very thing that we share, the reason why we share it so often is because we need it ourselves. So I want to share that with all people who are tuned in right now to make it very clear that I'm not wearing no crown, and neither do you see any of the other gentlemen that you see on your screen right now wearing a crown. We're all in this together. But if you would allow me to, I would like to just share one or two things with you really quickly, especially during these times. And I'm gonna be very transparent with you. Just last week, I came off of what I like to call a character building week. And if you've ever had a character building week, you guys just go ahead and do me a favor right now in the chat. Put me too, me too, me too. Like if you've had a character building week, you know what a character building week is, right? So it's like you start off the week and you're like, man, I'm about to, you know, do my thing, right? And then all of a sudden you get hit with something that you didn't anticipate, or perhaps you get hit with a couple of things that you didn't anticipate. So last week in our business, we had what I call a character building week. And then sometimes when you experience a character building week, you think that, hey, that's okay, I've got next week. But then sometimes you get into the new week and some of it comes with you. And so the question becomes then, how do you show up when the things around you are not going exactly the way that you want them to? How do you show up in the midst of some of the doubt and the uncertainty? How do you show up when you find yourself sort of second guessing and you realize that mentally you're experiencing a bit of a slump? And so that's the person I want to talk to right now. Like, you know that you want to show up, but your question is, how do you show up, especially during these times? And if that's you, I just want to share a couple of really, really quick things with you that I just believe is going to be able to help you out. So here's what I find. When you find yourselves in those type of slumps, I want you to realize that the first thing that you got to do is there needs to be a pivot and adjustment in your mindset. And let me tell you what I mean by that. When we get into those moments where we want to show up, but life hits us with something like COVID-19, life hits us with something like unemployment, life hits us with the loss of clients, life hits us where we find ourselves in some challenges, you need to make this pivot, mental adjustment. You say, well, what do you mean by that, Andy? I'm saying that here's what happens when you get into that slump. Your thoughts have been hijacked. Do you hear me? Your thoughts have been hijacked. Here's what we tend to do in those situations. We start focusing on exactly what went wrong, right? Oh man, I lost that client. Oh man, I lost the job. Oh my goodness, you know, the bank account's looking a little funny. Oh man, oh my goodness, I got a family member that got sick. Oh man, I got this little cough right now. I don't know if I even feel good myself. So what happens is once you have that thought and you start to marinate on that thought, what happens, it becomes a very slippery slope. And I want you to understand this, the thing that you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. Wherever your focus goes, energy flows. And so I want you to be thinking about that. This is what happened to me just last week, right? Had a couple of things happen, and now I'm trying to put out some fires. But what happens when you have multiple fires going on at the same time? And then so what happens is now you stop focusing on building, you stop focusing on your vision, you stop focusing on your dream, and you find yourself just basically focusing on all the things you don't want. And guess what ends up happening? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start focusing on what you don't want, and so you start moving closer to the things that you don't want. And so your brain, your thoughts have been hijacked. So what do you got to do? Andy, you like, I'm tuning in right now in the confidence factor, my man. Tell me what to do. You talking to me right now. My thoughts have been hijacked. I'm going through some stuff. If you would have seen me prior to what we're going through right now, you would have said I'm a positive person. Things are going well in my life. If you were to see me before what was going on right now, I was headed to make some great things happen. But now things have gotten a little tough, my friend. And I find myself focusing on how am I going to do this? How am I going to bounce back? And so let me tell you what I did. When I realized that just trying to reinforce my positive thinking wasn't working, I realized that I needed to find a way to sort of snatch my thoughts back. Now, it sounds easy, but we all know if it were easy, we'd all be doing it. So I said, well, how can I get myself to stop focusing on what's not working out right now and to find a way to start putting myself back in position to show up? And here's what I've come to realize. No matter what's going on right now in your life, no matter what challenges you have going on, here's what I can assure you of. I can tell you this as sure as I know that you are listening to me right now, that there is always some things that are going well in your life. Now, you might be saying, Andy, you don't understand. I got a lot of things not working out. I assure you there are some things that are working out. And so here's what I had to do. I went outside, I took a walk. I walked by the beach, tried to clear my mind, and as beautiful as the beach was, the weight of the stress was still on me. And so finally I said, I got to find a way to snatch back my thought. And so I came upstairs, I grabbed a piece of paper, and I just started writing all the things I was grateful for, just one by one. Man, I'm so grateful to be in good health. I'm so grateful that my wife's in good, I'm grateful my daughter's in good health. Man, I'm grateful that I got to be out on the beach this morning and see that sunrise, right? I am grateful that I've got amazing clients and people that I get to work with. I'm grateful I get to work in this area. And when you begin to start writing the things that you're grateful for, one after another, what you begin to do is, number one, you start to shift your focus from the things that you don't want to the things that are working out. And remember what I told you, whatever you focus on expands. And so now when you stop focusing on what's not working up, all the reasons why you're not showing up, and you start focusing on all the reasons that you should show up and all the things that are going well, then guess what ends up happening? You start creating a shift in your mental state, listen carefully, right? And now you start moving towards the thing that you want. And I'm telling you, there are so many people who are stuck right now. And if all they did was that simple exercise, to do just momentarily, is to get their mind back focused on what they want as opposed to the things that they don't want. Now, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Doing that exercise is good, but it's only gonna last for a little bit. It lasts just long enough to get you to go ahead and just start changing what your focus is. Now that you've changed your focus, and now you're in a better place. You were in a bad place because you were focusing on what's not working out, man. The job, my clients, stuff's a little tricky right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Now you're like, oh, but I am grateful for my health. I'm grateful things are going well. Listen, that moment is only gonna last for a little bit. You got a small window. Now, in that small window where you finally got yourself thinking positive, I need you to take massive action towards the thing that you want. And you say, well, Andy, listen, I do want to take action. But here's what the issue. I think about the things that I want to do, but then what ends up happening is I start overanalyzing it. I start playing back the things that didn't work out. I start thinking about how difficult things are right now, and I can't act. Well, here's what I want you to understand. In those moments The moment you have that little window where you're thinking positive again, here's what you got to do. You ready for this? Here's what you got to do. You got to act as if. And you say, well, Andy, what do you mean act as if? No, I'm not talking about fake it until you make it. I need you to think of that one person that you know, that is a go-getter. That one person that you know that takes immediate action. Y'all remember those wristbands from back in the day, right? It's WWJD. It was like, what would Jesus do, right? So the whole premise behind that was to say, if Jesus was in this situation, what would he do? Well, I want you to think about who's that person that you know that is an action taker. Who's that person that you know that's relentless? Who's that person that you know that will make things happen? And I want you to channel in that moment that you're trying to take action. What would this person do? And forget what you would do, because what you're doing is not working. You get that? What you're doing is going to analyze, overanalyze, feel stuck, beat yourself up. That ain't working, Jack. We know that. So now you need to think about, what would this person do? So let me tell you who I start thinking about. The thing that I appreciate about my wife is she's what you call a quick start. She gets an idea and my wife acts on that idea immediately, right? So when I find myself in a bit of a slump and I want to get out of that and I want to take some aggressive action and steps, I think of something that I want to do. And then I say, what would my wife do? Now, if I want to shoot a video, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to say, well, let me schedule the video. Let me think about what I'm going to say. Well, you know, I want to make sure I have the right backdrop. I want to make sure everything's right and all that stuff. My wife would just pull out her cell phone and start shooting the video, right? Because she doesn't overanalyze. She takes immediate action. So when I know that my traits are not going to get the outcome that I want, I think of somebody else and I momentarily embody them for that moment and say, what would they do? Do you know that is one of the most simple and most powerful things that you can do, but most of us don't? We all have somebody that we know that is relentless. We all have somebody that we know that takes fast action. We all know somebody that has a way to put a positive spin on things. And when you find yourself in that moment, you're trying to take action, stop trying to channel what you do, because what you do doesn't work. We've established it doesn't work. There's some things you do that do work. But if you're in a place and you're stuck, whatever you're doing that's got you stuck is not working. You get that? Whatever you're doing that's got you stuck is not working. You get that? It's not working. So here's what you got to think about for a moment. Here's what you got to think about for that moment. You got to ask yourself, what can I do in this moment? Not what I would do, but the person that I know that's relentless, that would make the thing happen. What would they do? So number one, when you're feeling stuck and you want to show up, number one, I need you to snatch back, take every thought captive. I need you to go ahead and grab control again of your thoughts. It's a slippery slope when you start thinking and stacking all the negative stuff. So that's the first thing I need you to do. Pivot. Take control of your mindset again. How do we do that? Document all the things you're grateful for. I'm telling you right now, if you're in that place, the moment you get off the confidence factor, I want you to pull out a piece of paper and I want you to start writing down all the things that you are grateful for. Now, you're going to have a small window where that's going to make you feel a little better because you focused on the things that you're grateful for. You're going to be like, man, I feel a little better now. Well, you have to take action during that moment that you're feeling a little better. And you may not be able to count on your old habits, rituals, and routines. So you need to channel somebody else that you know. And you got to ask, what would Darian do right now? What would Bobby B do right now? What would Rudy LaRose do right now? You got to be thinking about somebody that you believe is making things happen. You got to say, what would this person do right now? They pick up the phone and make the phone call. They jump on the ground right now and start doing the push-ups. They go in the pantry and throw away all the junk food. They would stand in one place and start running. They would pick up and start making the calls. They would turn on their computer and start doing a Facebook Live. Think of that person that you know that would take massive action, and you've got to emulate them in that moment and act towards that thing that you know that you need to do. And then the other thing is, I want you to realize this. Doing that one time is not going to work, folks. One time's not enough. Once you begin to take the action, when we talk about showing up is not about what you do every once in a while. Showing up is about what you do consistently. It's the thing that you do every single day. Let me explain something to you. When you find yourself in a challenging season like many of us are in right now, the thing that is going to take over in your life is what we call the autopilot. That autopilot that's going to kick in is going to be based off of your daily, not weekly, not monthly, not every once in a while, your daily habits, rituals, and routines. And so right now, you've got to establish habits and routines that are going to set you up to win, because when you get weary, you're going to default to your routine. So if your routine, when you get weary, is to just watch Netflix all day, that's what you're going to do more of. If your routine is to just eat junk food, that's what you're going to do more of. If your routine is to still do the core disciplines, picking up the phone, making outreach, doing presentations, working out, eating healthy, whatever your routines are, that is what you are going to default to when things get difficult. And so here's the thing. Here at Confidence Factor, all these gentlemen, they want you to show up. But we do understand that these are some challenging times. And so we're not going to just tell you, just go show up, everything's great. We know that these are some challenging times. So what I just did was just give you 3 really simple steps so that even during challenging times, so that you can continue to show up. Number 1, remember, take back your thoughts. Everything in your life is a production of the thing that you think. You will have a thought and then you produce it in your life. We got to snatch back our thoughts. In these difficult seasons, our thoughts tend to go negative. You need to pull out a piece of paper, start writing the things you're grateful for to get back your thoughts. Then in a small window where you're feeling better, you got to find a way to take some kind of action. If you don't know the step to take, channel with somebody else you know. What would this person do? What would they do? And emulate what they do. If you do what successful people do, you will produce the same results. Do you get that? There's no magic or mystery about it. If you duplicate what successful people do, you will get the same results. So you channel, what would this person do? And then the other thing I want you to make you understand, make no mistake about it, you can't do it one time. Now we got to do it consistently. You got to get up and do it tomorrow. You got to get up and do it the next day. You can't just wait once a week and wait to hear from the Confidence Factor. You can't just wait for Bobby B to tell you. You can't just wait for Darian Hill to tell you. You can't just wait for Rudy LaRose to tell you. You can't just wait for Andy Enriquez to tell you. No, you got to get up and tell yourself every single day, because it's those daily habits that's going to ultimately produce the outcomes that you want to produce in your life. And I'm telling you that if you follow those steps, you will begin to produce new stories in your life. You will begin to change and flip the chapter. And it doesn't matter how difficult the chapter is right now, you will get to a new season in your life where you begin to write a new chapter, a new story in your life. And so here's what I'm going to tell you. This is, in fact, your time. No matter how difficult it is, this is your time. But it's your time to start writing a new story. You got to make the adjustment, make the pivot, and let's start writing the new narrative so that you could be the next guest on the Confidence Factor, showing up, telling your story, and inspiring some other people to be able to change and impact their lives. Listen, y'all, I think it's an honor for me to just be here and just share a couple words with all of you. And I don't know if you know, the thing that I'm most passionate about is helping people to tell their stories. You know, I believe that right now, this is a season where we are going to be writing stories. Many of us are in the middle of a new story in our lives. But then as you begin to come out of the story, it's your responsibility to share the story, because somebody else needs your story so that they can make it to the next season. If you were on earlier on and you heard Bobby B's story, his story of him talking about being at a place in his life where he drove to the beach and he was about to call it quits. He's written a note for his family. He's put the keys on the tire and he's walking towards the beach saying, this is it. Him sharing that story is going to save other people's lives. And here's what I believe. I believe that you have a story, and that story is going to change and impact lives. And it is your responsibility to be able to share and tell that story. And I also want you to understand that your job is to not try to be like anybody else. You don't have to be a Darian Hill. You don't have to be a Rudy LaRose. You don't have to be an Andy Enriquez. You don't need to have to be a Bobby B. You got to be you. Every single one of us has our own unique way of sharing and telling our stories. And with that being said, let me tell you something right now. If you're just curious, because I know some of y'all might be curious, there are 5 different storyteller styles. And if you want to know what your storyteller style is, I just launched a new quiz. It's absolutely free, where you can go and check out what your storytelling style is, so that in the future, when you're a guest on the Confidence Factor, you know exactly what's working for you and how to position yourself so that you can make impact. And so if you want to take that quiz, it's only going to take you 1 minute to take that quiz. I want you to head over to storytellerquiz.com, storytellerquiz.com. Now, I do want you to stick around for the rest of the show, but go ahead and open it up in another browser. And then right afterwards, you can go ahead and take the quiz. And then after you take the quiz, you'll also get access to a free training that I have available for you. So just go to storytellerquiz.com, storytellerquiz.com. And that's my gift to you, because I believe that you are in a season right now where you're in the middle of a story, but then it's going to be your responsibility to share the story. And I believe that when you share that story, you're going to impact lives, you're going to attract new customers and clients, and you're going to leave a completely different legacy. And if you're just curious and you're like, well, Andy, I just want to know naturally what kind of a storyteller I am, then make sure you take that storytelling quiz. Go to storytellerquiz.com, storytellerquiz.com. It only take you 1 minute. And then once you take the quiz, you're going to unlock a free bonus training from me. And once again, that's my gift from me to you. And let me just tell you, it is an honor for me to be here hanging out with the guys in the Confidence Factor. I want you to stay connected with Bobby B, stay connected with Rudy LaRose, stay connected with Darian Hill, and just find a way to just join. You know what? I'm not even going to spoil it. But these guys got something special that they're going to announce a little later on. And if I were you, the first thing I would do is to make sure I jump on it. I already know I'm already jumping on it because I love a challenge, and they got something special coming up, and I want to make sure that you take advantage of that. So I just got to say this, you guys. It is an honor. It is an honor. I appreciate all the wonderful things you guys said about me at the beginning of the show, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is an honor for me to be here with you all, because I know what is going to happen with the Confidence Factor. I already have seen the lives being impacted, but I know that eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered into the hearts of man or women the things that God has in store for the Confidence Factor, baby.
Yeah.
Make you attached to these fellas. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man. Woo! Thank you so much, D. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely amazing. Before you go, I know you gotta go. We have got to drop this video because I believe that 2020 is a setup for the movies, the stories, the documentaries, the books. I mean, all the things that's going to be released in 2021. And I cannot think of anyone else better than you, Andy Henriquez, that's going to help some of us get these stories channeled after one of the best storytellers in the planet in the building. Thank you so much. It's been an honor. Before you leave, let me go ahead and drop this video. And then afterwards, you could just mention a couple of things, and then I'll let you go, my brother. All right, check this out, guys.
Tons of fun. It's absolutely fun to be here with Andy and with this environment. It is just fun.
It's amazing. I mean, you show up and you're surrounded by some great people.
I'm surrounded by amazing people who have powerful stories and who have accomplished amazing things that inspire me. And I love the fact that Andy is so much of an influencer that he's able to create an environment where these people will come in.
When the baby is born, one of the first things that they do is make sure that they put the baby where? On the mother's chest, because we are hardwired and programmed to seek and want connection. So do your clients, so do your customers, so do your audience. And it is your job, it is your responsibility to give them that connection. And the way that you're going to do that is through your story. And so what we're doing here at the Master Storyteller Academy is developing that signature story, because that's the first story that you need to be able to build connection and build rapport and really, truly, truly connect with people.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, you know, I didn't know you guys were going to play that, man. And what I love is, you know, I'm looking at that clip for the folks who are watching. What you saw was a highlight reel from the Master Storyteller Academy. And, you know, what's so amazing is that, you know, many of the gentlemen you're watching right now have actually, you know, come through the Master Storyteller Academy, and the evidence is there, and just the way that they're able to just really communicate and connect with people. But here's the thing that I want to share with you. What you saw was our live training, but what has been so amazing is in the midst of everything going on right now with COVID-19, we have now taken the Master Storyteller Academy and created a virtual intensive. Yep. So people can still get the entire benefit, but be able to participate from the safety of their home. And during our last virtual intensive, you know, what appeared to be a restriction actually ended up being a blessing. We had someone join us the last time from Tokyo. Somebody joined us from Hawaii. Somebody joined us from St. Lucia. And so if you are a speaker, a coach, and our primary individuals that attend this training are entrepreneurs and also people who are in transition, who are having success, but they want to get to the next level. And they believe that part of them getting to the next level is really being able to strengthen their message. And so we work with them over 3 days to really strengthen their message. And so I shared the quiz with everybody before, and that's for everybody, the quiz. However, I know that there's some of you, you've been listening in and you're like, man, you know what, Andy, I think I fall in that category. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a coach. I'm in transition, and I want to get to that next level. And I believe that I got to take my message to the next level. If that's you, then I'm going to extend an invitation for you to just fill out an application so that we could see if you'd be a good fit to join us for our next training. That's going to be on September 17th through the 19th. And so all you have to do is head over to masterstorytelleracademy.com. I'm going to say that one more time, masterstorytelleracademy.com. And when you go there, there's a really quick application. Just fill out that application, and someone on the team will go ahead and just share with you about the Master Storyteller Academy, and we'll be able to decide and determine if you'd be a good fit for the program. And so you guys, man, I appreciate you. I didn't know you guys were going to play that video, man. I appreciate
Come on, man.
You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome.
We got you, brother. We got you, man. It's just such an honor, Andy. I can't thank you so much, you know, for the lives that you impacted. All three of us are so eternally grateful for the impact you've had on our lives, both knowingly and unknowingly. And it's just been an honor to have. Guys, you have anything to say before he leaves?
Nah, man, I got so much notes. I got colors, highlighters. Hey, look, man. Hey, man, look. I would say I show up for the class, man. I love it, man.
I love it. I love it.
Appreciate you, brother. More than you know. More than you know.
Hey, Andy, you know, I always got love for you, and I love what you said. What you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. Yeah, that is so critical. I know, listen, you've been helping us to shift our focus. You've been helping us to share our stories in an authentic way to make a bigger impact. And we just appreciate you, love you, brother, and thank you so much for the gift of your time, for showing up here and making an impact. So
hey, love y'all too, man. I appreciate it, man. You guys are special, man. Love what y'all doing.
Awesome,
hey, Andy,
awesome.
I'm just going to claim this, that the next time you see me, I'm going to have a shirt that says snatchback mode. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Trademark Andy Henriquez, snatchback mode. You know what I mean?
You got to snatch it back, my brother.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy. I will see you soon.
All right. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
All right.
Have a good one. Guys, woo! Come on, guys.
Bro, look at here. Look. I think I was crying. I got goosebumps. I was sweating. I was taking note. I was in the vortex, baby. I was in the vortex. Huh? Hey, that was a mental workout. My brain was like, yo, 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, that was real. Wow. Powerful, brother.
What you got?
Powerful.
What you got? Drop it. What you got? What you got, brother? What
Bro,
you
you
got?
don't want my. I got all the notes, man.
Give me some. Give us some highlights. Let's get some
highlights, baby. The
before
thing,
we get out of here.
The thing you focus on the longest becomes the strongest, right? You got to ask yourself, how can I bounce back? He said, channel the person, that person. That's the beautiful thing. What Darian was saying earlier is that it's universal. Everybody knows a person. When you think about them, you're like, man, if that person was here, they tackle that thing. And that's the thing. I as he was talking, I was saying to myself, I said, damn, if I didn't know Andy right there, I could have called him. He'd have got me through the phone. He'd be like, get yourself together, B, get yourself, you know? And man, it's just, that was a powerful message. And it was 3 easy steps. It's not like you need, it's 3 easy steps. Let me see. Do what successful people do, and you will get the same results.
That's right.
All right, now I got all the notes, man. You know, showing up. Hey, showing up is about what you do consistently, right? And he said the autopilot would kick in. What we say in the vortex about the training, right? It's not about one day. It's about consistency and commitment. So when things get real tough, you know, that autopilot kick in, your default kicks in, and your body's like, nah, we normally wake up at 4:10. What are you doing? Like, let's get to what we normally do. And you know, it's like, it's that muscle memory. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Darian says it all the time, right? It's what? Hard in the beginning, right? Messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. That's what Robin Sharma, right?
That's
hey, you see, I don't that quote, I know that quote from being around Darian. You see?
Yeah.
You see, success leaves clues. You start picking up and it becomes easier. I now know Robin Sharma because of Darian. I know now know that, what was it, what I say earlier? I say that how you do anything is how you do everything.
How you do everything.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It becomes second nature. And you gotta crawl, you walk, you run. Listen, one powerful thing he said, begin to write a new paragraph. You write a new chapter, then you write a new story. And ultimately, listen, man, this guy, I'm gonna tell you this one time, because I know we got to get out of here, but he said, listen, he said, from a great minute comes a great hour. From a great hour comes a great day. Then a great week, then a great month, then a great year. And then you become the architect of a great lifetime. And that's what we all searching for, a great life. But it starts with a minute. And so, like he said, in that minute, when you find things are slippery and you're going downhill, snatch back that thought right in that minute, right? And it only lasts a minute, but then you got to duplicate it. Man, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's powerful.
Drop us with that challenge, man. Go ahead, bro. Drop us with that challenge, brother.
Ultimately, I mean, listen, Andy laid the foundation for everything that we need to be doing on a consistent basis to have transformation in our life. And so we want to continue that process. This is just the beginning, right? So we want to invite you to our Unleash Your Riches Challenge, a 7-day Unleash Your Riches Challenge. Listen, the reality is, as Andy mentioned, you got to shift your focus. You got to act as if. You got to have people around you, a community around you to help you to stay the course so you can ultimately get to the results that you want in your life. So if you're ready to take that step, that bold step, if you're ready to really unleash, your purpose and develop your confidence factor, if you're ready to shift your focus so that you can stay in alignment with your goal, to show up more in your life so you can make an impact, to share your story in a heartful and authentic way, we want you to join us. We want you to join us because we have a community. We have a 7-day Unleash Your Riches Challenge that's going to help you to do that. So it's a free challenge. The link is right there. It's challenge.confidencefactor.com. That's challenge.confidencefactor.com. Go over to that website, sign up. This is going to be exciting because we're going to be helping people to shift their focus, have heartful conversations that lead to transformation, and ultimately have you to unleash your purpose by developing your confidence factor. So I'm really excited, fellas. I'm really excited for everyone.
This is for the fellas. This is for the fellas, ladies.
For the fellas. You know
what I'm saying? Y'all have your conferences all the time, and sometimes you invite us, but this time, fellas, it's our turf, man. We in the game of life, and we ready to play. We ready to play. And before we get out of here, what really stood out to me with Andy, I didn't realize it till now. Can you imagine? We in August. Can you imagine a few months from now? We're gonna be in 2021. Can you imagine the stories that's gonna come out from 2020? Yeah, can you imagine the changes? Can you imagine the challenges? Can you imagine? I mean, think about it for a second. During this time, you can either show up and show out, or you can chill and quarantine and do all these things that quarantine people do. Nah, man, I'm going to choose to show up and show out, not just for 2021, but right now, and go to this challenge and make something happen for 2021, man. I'm ready, man. I'm so ready. I'm pumped up. Guys, we got the book. Oh, no, we got mentioned the book as well. We got a book. We are authors. That's right. We got a book. Make sure you go on Amazon to check out The Confidence Factor for Men, 7 Steps to Unstoppable Confidence. Make sure you grab several copies, not just one, but we definitely believe in the power of multiplication. So grab several copies and give out to people, man. We really believe that this is going to change your life as it changed ours. The audio is coming soon for you guys who want the audio, and the book is coming soon as well. But right now we have an ebook. You can go to https://bit.ly/confidence factor book to grab your copy. Guys, that's all the time we have. Take us out. Darian, what you got, man? What you got?
Hey, man, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Go over to unleashyourriches.com. If you're ready to change your focus, if you're ready to be able to transform, go over to unleashyourriches.com and join us for the challenge. We'll see you soon.
Bobby B.
That's it, man. Confidence back. The heart level conversations. We keep it real, baby. Heart level conversations that leads to transformations. You know what we do, right?
Yes, sir.
Everything you do, you gotta always keep it heart level.
Heart level, baby. Heart level.
Heart level.
Heart level.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Heart level. Come on now. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel, right here on Confidence Factor Talks. It's your boy, Rudy LaRose. I'm out.